Hey you guys, this is Landon, aka DJ New Spirit, also known as LandRyu513 on the Capcom Fighters Network, coming at you with another tutorial, hoping to kind of branch out and try to help those in the community that's struggling against a particular matchup, which is the dreaded Rashid. Rashid. Alright, but anyways, I had to. But long story short, Rashid is a very dangerous character in this game. Immense pressure, immense combo potential, damage, speed, all the above, and he's just a terror. And players abuse his character more and more in terms of what he can do and how dangerous he is. But there are certain things that you can do to debunk certain instances, especially using Ryu or any other character for that matter. But since I am a Ryu main, I'll show you guys what to do against him in certain instances. But let's talk about the dangers of Rashid, okay? So, Rashid is very dangerous in terms of his speed, again, plus frames, distances of how he can do certain things because of recovery and whatever they may be. But his bread and butter is off of standing heavy punch and crouching heavy punch, and he abuses from different intervals and different distances. But one of the things that players are not educated about is his pressure, and that's using his special move, which is the Whirlwind shot. Low kick version of Whirlwind shot, okay, is startup of 17, active frames of 35, and recovery of 35. But he's actually on block, he's -5, but then also on hit, he's actually -2. Whirlwind shot medium kick version is actually a startup of 34, active frames of 35, and then recovery of 36, and he's on block of 1. Whirlwind shot hard kick version is on startup of 34, recovery of 35, active frames of 35, excuse me, recovery of 36. On block, he's +1. We don't want to even get caught into that. And then Whirlwind shot EX version is 23, recovery of 35, excuse me, startup of 35, recovery of 35, but he's +9 on block, which is immense. Now the thing about Whirlwind shot, you have to train your eye on what sequences or what variations that Rashid will do in between these pressure strings using standing heavy punch and or using a first hit off crouching heavy kick or crouching heavy punch. So let's talk about this Whirlwind shot. Let's talk about this move. You have to learn to train yourself or train the eye on what to look for. That's the low kick version, medium kick version, hard kick version, EX version. Low kick version, medium kick version, hard kick version, EX version. Now each move has its uses. Each move also has its vulnerabilities. Let's see why. So we've already explained about low kick version, right? So low kick version, again, is the quickest of all of them. I've got the recording slot set up for somewhat of a walk, so therefore you can guys see of how much pressure is in between this attack, and then also with the recording too for him to stand neutral, but to show you if spacing is done improperly with Rashid players. That goes for the intermediate to beginning to even expert to even it out of the pro players. Now, let's start up with recording slot 1. So, Rashid will walk, and no matter what I do, I can't press any button in between that string at all. Can't do any button. All that I can do is punish him at the end of it. But even with me buffering Dragon Punch or mashing Dragon Punch, I can't get through it. Anything, because of the immense pressure that's in between that gap. So, but he's -5. Keep that in mind. He's -5. Punish him for him doing that move to begin with. Make him pay for that move. Now, if he's up close, you can try to challenge him, but the pushback in neutral is so immense. So while in neutral, you really can't get that much pressure on him. But if he got you in the corner and he does that, it's open season. You can make him pay essentially. Now, let's go to action playback settings on set 2, which I have it set up to where he can do it from the neutral. Now, if he's doing this from the neutral and trying to size you up with that standing heavy punch, he's going to do that, right? There's one way of combating that. Rashid is very negative on that move in neutral. So if he's doing that from that particular space, punish him. So look at it again. Neutral or if it's poorly spaced, he's wide open. Medium kick version, if you all remember, there is a spin or vortex of his animation, and that's something you have to just keep an eye on. So startup is 23, active frames of 35, and recovery of 37, block -2, and then on hit he's +1. But we want to evade that altogether. Train your eye, lab, and look at every detail when you're going against these characters. Rashid will have a spin on his medium kick and hard kick. Players from top to bottom will use this version as well to keep up pressure and in order to not only keep up pressure, but in order to score an extra counter hit right after the hit or to continue combo potential right after that. So they'll use MK version and hard kick versions essentially. But let's talk about medium kick version. So I've already got the training dummy set up to do so, but there's a string in between. Okay, keep that in mind. You can DP out of it. And you buffer your dragon punch, so your dragon punch will be safe if the move is done in between the vortex. But I accidentally did Shinku. That's one way of doing it. Down forward punch. It's a good shortcut to buffer that attack. That's one way of doing it. Or interrupting him at the very beginning. It's not real, folks. It's not real. Or, if it's from a harder distance, you can interrupt it because of the immense hitboxes in there. So I'm trying to hit heavy punch, but because of the immense spin off of that, I can't do that consistently. But you can do standing medium punch, time it correctly for the last hit, or you standing low kick. But again, because of the immense hits, you guys see this stuff? It's not that great of an attack, especially at certain distances. His hitbox is immense off of this thing. It's ginormous. And then with Dragon Punch, because a heavy Dragon Punch, because it's 3 to 6 of strike invincibility and projectile invincibility, you can take him out the game. It's not real, folks. Take advantage of that. Okay, so let's talk about the heavy kick version. Heavy kick version has heavy startup, plus on block, plus on hit, and that's something you just don't want to be caught in. Long story short, train your eye on which versions that you can see, okay? So this is all through labbing. This is when you're in continuous lab mode and just training and training and training. Heavy kick mode. All right, so I've got the recording slot set up for 1, and I got the where he walks, and I have the recording slot set up for when he's in neutral. So I've already got 1 activated. Okay. Remember to catch him. The recovery on that is so great. There is no reason why you cannot punish that. Even after you get hit, you can still challenge it. It's insane. You can just, I don't even need to show you guys what to do in the corner for that matter. It's the exact same thing. You can just take care of business all together. And when he's in the corner, it's open season. It is just straight open season. And an advanced tactic, when he's doing this, and if you catch him in the corner, feature of activation, crush counter, curtains. No reason why you guys should allow him to do that. So I've already got the EX version recorded for you guys. Again, this is the most dangerous of all of them. Just don't let him get away with this, because his spin is actually quite faster of all of them. So it's really hard, especially if he's catching you in the corner. Catch him at the very ending frame. Ending frame is when you want to take him out the game. So if he's doing it from a distance, you can still try to punish it, but because of the factor of the great invincibility off of the projectile, it's not always a good idea to do that. But if you can catch the spacing, you can interrupt him, period, with standing low kick. Standing low kick is your best friend in terms of this move. So if you do standing medium punch, because of the factor that you don't have it properly spaced, you'll get tagged. But if you catch him at the end of the ending frame, again, he's just super negative. Don't let him get away with it. Just don't let him get away with it. And you guys see what is going on with this. Like, just don't let him do it. Dragon punch. Catch him doing that. Down for it, down for it. Just take advantage. And again, his hitbox is immense. You can really beat this move if you train your eye. Essentially, if you don't feel comfortable with doing other moves, you can start off with a low punch, especially if he's got you pegged in the corner. If the spacing is improper, for that matter. So if he's that up close to you, you can actually make him you can punish him for that too. And neutral jumping, baby. There's just so many ways of challenging this move. Just don't let him get away with it. So let's talk about crouching heavy punch as a whole, shall we? First things first, this move carries him across the screen, and he can just continue to move it, and it moves him each time that he does the move. Okay. One thing for sure is that after the double hit, you want to challenge it, because remember, if they are doing this and they are not linking a special after the first hit, it's punishable. Remember, it's -3 on block. Challenge it. Don't let them get away with just any old thing. You want to challenge it. So it's completely useless if they didn't do a special move. It's always your option to challenge it and make your next turn. Another thing is that it's heavy recovery. You can whip punish it. And if he's doing this from a distance, it's a free punish. Take advantage of that. Recovery of 35, guys. Don't let him get away with that. And if you're not comfortable yet, V reversal. So remember, whip punish, heavy recovery, running for a grab, running for a combo. All about whip punishing. That's one way of dealing with crouching heavy punch. Alright, so now let's talk about crouching heavy punch bread and butters into whirlwind shot, because this is essentially the basis of everything that Rashid does in terms of what he does in this moveset. So there is a method of madness to going against this move. Now if he's got this properly spaced, it's going to be hard to even challenge it to begin with. A good way of checking this attack is if you're blocking, to make sure if there's any strings, if you're not comfortable, and if you're not able to see or verify when he's going to do his spin animation, one thing is to continue to hit down forward, heavy punch. That is the Shoryuken motion or input for the regular Shoryuken motion. So because it is 3 to 6 in projectile invincibility and strike invincibility. But if he's doing his move like this though, he is -5. So keep that in mind about low kick whirlwind shot. So let's talk about crouching heavy punch into MK Whirlwind. Disclaimer, do not, and I repeat, for various reasons because of frame data purposes, do not allow yourself to press punch button, a medium punch or a heavy punch in between the string, because you will get checked no matter what distance you are at. You can tag him, but you're gonna risk getting counter hit, and he can dash in for more critical damage at that point. So the best way to check it, standing low punch, if improperly spaced, into a 3-hit Tatsu combo, donkey kick, EX Hado, Tatsu, EX Tatsu. Those are variable punishes. And the method, as I described beforehand in the tutorial, down forward punch. While in the midst of that, because it has 3 to 6 frames of strike and projectile invincibility, and it'll go right under, or you can just interrupt it altogether using Shinku Hadoken. So again, the buffering motion of using down forward punch in between that string, because one is safe, and then you can get variable hit confirm damage if you buffer it correctly. Those are variable ways of stopping the MK Whirlwind shot. Alright, so let's talk about crouching heavy punch into hard kick version of Whirlwind shot. One way of doing it is jumping over it. If your eye is trained to see and know that if you have courage and you see that he's doing that, you can actually take advantage of doing that. But any experienced Rashid player or a pro would not do that. If they do that, then they're in trouble. Crush counter for days. And if spaced from a distance, you can get a good jump in. And or, as usual, dragon punch. So dealing with crouching heavy punch into EX Whirlwind shot. Disclaimer, do not press any heavy attacks, meaning greater recovery of 5 and over, because you will risk trading hits as well as being comboed on counter hit. That's something you do not want to deal with. So if improperly spaced, do standing light punch, standing light kick, even from a distance, but do not press medium punch. Low kick beats it clean since its active frames are 4. EX Hado, and dragon punch because of 3 to 6 of quick strike and projectile invincibility. Now, if improperly spaced, you can get a good jump in on it. Now, as a bonus, one thing I forgot to mention is if you use Cacao Fubats, that's another way of relieving a lot of the pressure that is used with Whirlwind shot as well too. So we'll select that. So I hope you guys, this has been a very beneficial tutorial and how to deal with some of Rashid's top options that is used in this matchup. As far as using the Whirlwind shot, I'll have more on his Yasir, which is his V-Trigger 2, how to deal with that coming up in the next tutorial. But in missing everything, thank you all for watching. I hope this has been, again, beneficial to all of you. Spread the word on this video. You may share it. Try to help somebody that's actually having problems in this matchup. All I just want to do as somebody who is who plays this game a lot, is that I try to give back to the community and try to help enrich the community with positivity, and also being willing to share this knowledge and information with the many of you, because there are people out there who don't want to share this information with you. And also, in addition to that, there are a lot of people that are toxic in the FGC, and most of the time all to themselves, who are unwilling to work with others to share and help build and teach. So there are many of you that are out there that don't have offline locals or whatnot. So this is my way of not only saying thank you, but also at the same time of trying to help and enrich each and every one of you on what to do regarding this matchup. This is Landon, aka DJ New Spirit, out. Peace and blessings, everybody. Bye-bye.